Hello. Welcome to episode 164 of Live Drawing. Tonight we'll be working on converting these colors that you see here. This is just a color guide, and it just has your highlight and shadow. Something that looks more like this, where you can see the screens of the different colors. This is super zoomed in. These are like small panels, just to illustrate the point where you can see all the little dots. See the little dots there. See them there, different screens. M3, M2, M4, M3 over C. Anyway, that's just to give an example. You can see what a purple looks like, so you can see all the different colors overlaying one another. Different skin colors, how they're mixed together, different levels of ink. How you get the different greens. See the green right there. Anyway, that's one of the pages we worked on earlier. Let me see the whole thing. I'll get to work. And this one. Let's get our magenta. Hey, Ethan. I'm doing okay. How was karaoke I think you were heading to last week? Did you have a good time? I think you said karaoke. Taking the bus, nice. Is that a long ride? I don't know. I don't know California geography very well. I used to take the bus to New York Comic Con with my buddy Jay from Boston to New York, and we would get up at the crack of dawn. We'd be at like the first bus on our way into town, and I don't know. We would get to the bus station at like 4 in the morning, and we'd be in New York by like 6:30. 2 hours, yeah. It's not a short bus ride, but it's not a super long bus ride. So hopefully it's a smooth ride for you. It's gotten to where I've memorized these formulas, so I don't really look back and forth too often. I can just crank them out. We're on page 29 of working on the screen, so that's pretty good. Depending on how busy they are, I was working out, basically this week I got 3 pages a night done, which was pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good pace. Let's get our yellow. These color decisions were made a long time ago. I actually planned this color palette early on. Actually, we're going to need to add the rest of that so that it's all yellow. Filled in. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been watching Peacemaker. I think that's been a very good show. So I would recommend that to anybody who's a comic fan. I haven't read a ton lately just because I've been working. See, we're going to see 3. I'll just drop that in there. See, when I was a kid, these were talked about as just being pure flat colors in vintage comics, and I never really bought into it. Because there was always this texture to it. And it took me a long time to figure out when I was a kid, that it was the printing process and the paper that gave it the look that I was accustomed to. And that's kind of where I've spent a lot of time over the years trying to figure out how to get these things to look how I want them to look in my brain. It takes a lot of work, a lot of trial and error. Thank you. It's just fun. It's got a warmth to it that I think that it's tough to achieve with just digital coloring. It's not impossible, but you've got to be really gifted. And I'm okay with digital coloring. Like, I can do a professional job, but I never considered myself a special talent in that regard. And in some cases, I'm actually just drawing from experience for the color, where like I picked the color I wanted based off of the palette that I have available to me, but I also will just kind of audible on the fly when I see a mixture not working, or if there's too many dots, or if there's too much of a screen going on, because it'll get confusing to the eye, and that's why you want to use flat colors, like 100% ink colors when you can, like this yellow with this screen in front of it. We're gonna add a little bit of texture to it, but it'll largely stay in those colors. Oops. And for this guy, we need magenta 3. Let's see what C2 looks like. I might need C3. Yeah. It took me a little while to remember the mixtures, to be honest. Because if you know the principle of the different shades, then you're okay. But it's the execution that really pulls them together. I don't have a ton of stories to go over tonight because I've mostly been just working. I've been looking at a lot of old comics. I was looking at some Tomb of Dracula that were colored by Tom Palmer, who, if you know the name Tom Palmer, he's a terrific artist, mostly known for inking. One of his longest runs was inking Gene Colan on that very same book on Tomb of Dracula. And the coloring is just fantastic. It's interesting when you get a person who draws more doing the colors. Some artists do color as well. I think Christy Shield is a fantastic colorist. I think that she did some really cool stuff. Hey Martha, it's good to see you. Nice. Yeah, doing okay. I wish I had time to just do some reading, but I really got to finish this. We're on page 29 of doing these retro colors. I believe this was M3, Y2. Let's take a look. 3, Y2. That looks right. M4. C2, C3. C2. Yellow. Excuse me. Missed a spot. Missed a couple of spots. When I was designing the band, I thought it would be funny to have the colossal squid, which is a real type of squid that's bigger than a giant squid, the colossal squid, playing the triangle. That was something I was looking to do. Hey, thanks, Ethan. Enjoy the rest of your trip, man. I'll catch you next time. Slow night tonight. I don't have a lot of, what's the word, giddy up. This is just a neutral gray, and the lightest gray that I can make is by equal parts of cyan, magenta, and yellow. They all cancel each other out to make a neutral color. 20% of each. You can see it makes gray. And then grab that and cyan 3. These are darker areas. I think that about covers it. I saw that you sent something. I haven't checked it out. Sorry, I will. I will. I promise I will check it out. Yeah, it's just been that kind of. Last week I had a business trip I had to do. It was just, yeah, a long week. Hey, Michael. Good to see you, man. I hope that that show you did ended up doing well. I saw you were tabling at a looked like a mall show or something. Sometimes those can be real good. I haven't done a mall show in a little bit, but every now and again you'd hit one. It would be real good. So you're selling your books and some of your collection. It looked like. There's some logos that'll end up being dropped in here on the lettering page. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in there. I mean, and they were made by really, all-time creators. There's public domain Kirby characters. There's public domain Will Eisner characters. The Black X was a Eisner character that I always thought was very cool. Oh, you sold 12 of your own books? That's great. Nice. Hey, it can be tough going convincing people to pick up your book, but I've had some good shows that were, in the, like a Plaza Molly type place. It's been a while. One person bought a big pile of trades. I hope they read them and enjoy them. Yeah, I'm in a similar situation. I've got a pile of books I should be moving on from. I've got plenty of books I want to keep, but I also have some where it's like, I probably should move those along. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's a good deal. selling a dozen indie books. That is not easy, man. What am I looking for? Let's see how the M2 looks here. Shade color. Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. Because here, if you go with a flat blue, the textures disappear. And for that, we can go to C3, I think. Oh, that's a real connection. That's very cool. Person bought the book, they looked through it. That's a real connection, man. That's very, very cool. That's the good stuff. Delete C2. Down here, grab the magenta pressure tint. All right, let's take a look at the highlights, see what we're missing. We're doing okay. I think we nailed that one. All right, now all we gotta do is drop our paper texture down, which there's a wide shot of the page. Let's go grab one of the previous pages that has screens. This is page 18. This is actually maybe my favorite page in the book. So grab our paper texture. That's at its full 100% opacity. I like to push it back a little bit because when it prints, it's going to be darker. So I knock that back to about 60%. There it is on full strength, just a little bit lighter. All right, I will save this one. We're on to page 30 and 31, which is the 2-page spread, which is going to be a toughie. I'll just save a copy. We don't have to save the changes on that. We don't have to save anything on that. So we hit no. I'm not sure, actually. They used to do it at one of the local comic stores. They used to do it, but I haven't seen anyone do it in a long time, so. Let me leave those alone. Okay, here's the flats. Let's duplicate that. Merge these together. That gives us all on one layer. And then there's our white on its own layer. And then we go make 3 more layers, and that's the cyan, magenta, yellow. And I just labeled them C, M, and Y. All right, so we can hide this and just see the flats. And let's just start with some of the backgrounds. And this is Morena and Eel singing their duet. I accidentally grabbed my. We're actually going to have to save this and do a reload because I accidentally grabbed the color holds that we did. Those need to be on their own layer. You saw the color holds? 1, 2. Yeah, I think so. If we merge these, let me copy those. Just drop those right there. It should be okay. Yep, there we go. Surprised I didn't do a color hold on that part, but maybe we'll add that in. Yep, you know this one. to save that. Let's get our full cyan. And then if we grab this one, we add just a little bit of yellow. It just gives it a little bit of a different feel to it. And then these 3 bars are intentional to frame Colonel Feathers. You can see that he has a very specific placement there. I think this was meant to be magenta 3 and just magenta 3. Oops. Yeah, absolutely. Having something done always feels good. I am jealous. I had to do a little tightening up, but it was nothing. It was not a major thing on this one, from what I recall. I've already kind of blocked some of that stage out. No offense to anyone who I'm supremely appreciative. It has taken so long that I've just had to just keep going. I had to do so many pages. I don't remember them all at this point. I had to take my headphones off. They're starting to crush my skull. Yeah, I don't remember it being a big lift to finish this one off. There were a couple of pages over the course of it that I had to redo. Jay Kennedy is here. How's it going, man? Thanks. Working hard. What are you working on tonight? Yeah, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. I don't know what it's from. It's true. Like I warned everybody, I don't have a ton of gusto tonight. I don't know why. It's one of those nights where I could just fall asleep on the couch or whatever. Yeah, I got to finish this book, and then I got to do the little behind the scenes booklet, and I have to finish the field guide artwork, which I've already started, um, which is just a two-sided piece of drawing that is helpful for identifying fish species if you're out at the beach. Oh, your coloring book, yeah. Yeah, it's easy to let things slip like that. I've had to let plenty of stuff slip. It's tough balancing projects, especially if you work, predominantly alone. It's tough to get people to understand what you're trying to do. I think this one is 100% cyan. Do I know anything about making shorts? I do. I just don't have time to do them. That's the only problem. I wish I did, but I do not. It's the kind of thing that I just don't have time to do. I mean, I like them just fine. I just don't have the time to do them. I wish I did. One man production house, and I've failed to get some other stuff done this week that I need to get done. And it's just one thing after the next after the next. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I've used Adobe Stock. I've actually reached out to musicians. They can fill out a form for you if they just want to let you use their stuff. Yeah, I reached out directly to a couple of musicians that I like their stuff and asked if I could use it on there, and they just fill out the form. Obviously, that's not something you're going to run into with like big time bands unless you're friends with them, which you could be. Hey, Mike, I generally recommend a website for your portfolio. It's having a central hub for all your stuff. what you're going to see out of me over the next year after this book is done is you're going to see me bringing everything into the encnichols.com website world. Fat Cat Funnies will go there. There'll be lots of stuff that ends up there. And it's just good to have a singular place for all that stuff. I mean, it depends what you're looking for. I mean, if you know how to do SEO and everything like that, a website's like the best thing. But if you're just looking to like pick up, you know, um, I've never had luck getting long-term gigs on Instagram or anything like that. I've gotten plenty of like one-off gigs, like where it's like, hey, do a pinup, do a cover, etc. But I've never had like any long-term collaborations come out of Instagram. I've been old-fashioned, I guess. Most of mine came out of like going to conventions and stuff. I mean, there are editors that if you're I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to work for specific editors? Because if that's the case, you need to follow them and see what they post and what they like and stuff. Trying to think of the name of that. Nate Cosby's an editor that does like roll calls on threads. I've never gotten a gig out of it, but it doesn't mean you won't. I'm just saying I for whatever reason my stuff hasn't made them pull the trigger. Does traffic affect the cost of a website? Not that I think a lot of people would go to mine. I'm looking for commissions of non-copyright material, indie comics, interiors here and there, and covers. I mean, if that's the case, then probably like an Instagram account would be the way you'd want to go. It doesn't cost anything. I mean, websites, what they charge you for is like the amount they're hosting usually, and not really the traffic. Like if you're putting video content on there, if you're asking them to host a ton of images, that's when they start to whack you for other charges and things. Yeah, then try an Instagram account. It can't hurt and it's free. The only thing that I don't like about it is that like, at this point there's nothing you can do about it for, you know, um, any sort of social media platform is that they're going to use it for AI training and learning. They're not going to tell you, but they will. Yeah, I use Wix for my site. I mean, and I think they do a very nice job of hosting everything. It's all in one place. Hey, it's tough going out there. So, well, it's not for what he's doing. It's not necessarily about what you like. It's where the editors are, and that's Blue Sky. There's some, but I still think I see more people converting posts to work um, through Instagram. I don't really like it either. I know it's if I wouldn't want to steer someone towards because I think the best thing to do would be to have a Wix site and have your social media platforms and then post people to check stuff out on your Wix site, like do little previews and stuff. And that's what I'll be doing uh, once this book is done, like for new Helena stories, new other stories I've begun developing. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Nice to see you pop in. Everything good with you? Oh, no problem, Michael. I appreciate you folks popping in and saying hello. Let me know what's going on with you guys and checking out what we're working on. And this, I mean, one of the things that's come out of this project is miles of footage that I do wonder what a time lapse of the whole project would look like. I'm kind of curious to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. It would be long because we've done probably over 100 episodes of working on this book. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I think it'll be a long uh, compilation if we did the thing. And see, if I were doing it, what I'd want to do is I would want to do like splits where you show the drawing the page, the coloring the page, and then you do like a brief beat where you just show the finished page and then on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It'd be a giant supercut. I did that thing where it rotates it. I have to close this and reopen it. It happens sometimes. I don't fully know why. Am I doing 24-hour comic day? I would die, I think. Yeah, that makes sense. If you can get a squad together. See you, Daniel. Have a good night. Thanks for popping in. We're going to sign off soon, too, just because I'm so tired. But I feel like we got a good start on this 2-page spread here. Thanks, Martha's. Hey, nice. Magandafante setting the pace for the group. I'm definitely not. Well, it's 9:15. I think we'll call it a night. Congrats on selling those books this past weekend. That's pretty exciting, man. I'm gonna have to get myself a copy. So, yeah, we'll message. I don't know if you ship or if I'll just hit you up at some point. But yeah, I hope everybody. Thanks everybody for coming in. Hope everybody has a good night and a good weekend and the rest of the week. And yeah, take care. Hope to see you next week. Thanks again. Good night.